Welcome to the Business Air International Pre-Owned Market Update. My name is Oliver Stone, and this is designed just to give you a quick informational summary of what is happening on the aircraft markets so you can make decisions that best impact you, your aircraft, and your business. We divide this into large cabin, medium cabin, and small cabin aircraft. Starting along, this is the number of aircraft for sale in the large cabin segment, going from January 09 till about April of 2010. It goes from a low, as you can see, of 480 units to 580 units. The most salient points here are the fact that from about August 09 down to January 010, we had a huge decrease in the number of airplanes for sale, about 100 aircraft sold. Very importantly, in about January of 2010, February somewhere in there, owners decided that this was a great time to start putting more airplanes back on the market. Why is this? Mostly because they saw some of the upper echelon, the G550s, the Global XRSs, level out in prices and in some cases actually increase. They put their airplanes back on the market. An important thing here, aircraft markets are a very delicate supply and demand market. A slight increase in supply leads to a slight decrease in prices. You can see this here in the pricing strategies of the large cabin aircraft. Again, January through April, it goes from $12 million all the way up to $20 million. Price comes all the way down here until you hit a very defined bottom here in February. This right here is where those upper echelon, those larger aircraft start to increase and owners put their planes on the market. And then we saw again a gradual decrease down, a slight decrease there as that extra inventory came onto market. So what does this mean? For buyers, it means buy now. This is a huge discount to where we are. There's a definite bottom forming. This little downward trend, once that extra inventory is gone, will level out again. It's not going to get much better. For sellers, if you don't have to sell, don't. Keep your airplanes off the market. Extra supply means lower pricing. This graph right here is about the average days on market in the large cabin segment. It is a very steep slope upwards. What that means is that it takes a very long time to sell your airplane. Interpreting this a little bit, what it shows is that the older cabin aircraft, the Gulfstream 2s and 3s, and the old Challenger 600s, those are really having a very difficult time selling. Very large driven by the fact that this market now is bifurcated to new aircraft and old aircraft. Old aircraft drive these averages. So what's happening in the medium cabins? Well, you see here that the level of inventory is now still far above where we were in January of 2009. Again, going from a low of about 900 up to about 1100 or so at the high. What this means is that we still have a lot more inventory to sell off. The recovery has not quite made it down to the medium cabins yet. How does that impact pricing? Well, as you can tell here, we had what we thought was a bit of a bottom before we carried on down again. What does this mean? Buyers, you can probably afford to wait a little while. There's still more airplanes out there than there are buyers on average. Important, I stress average. Sellers, you have to get in front of this curve. The longer time it carries on, the farther on down it goes. If you need to sell the airplane, be aggressive about pricing, get it out the door. Days on market, again, you will see a sharper increase in this than in the larger cabin aircraft, mainly driven by the fact there are more, as a unit number, of older airplanes in medium cabins than the large cabins. Hawker 700s, 800s, the older Lear 55 series aircraft, these are all considered older units that will help drive that average up. What about small aircraft? Well, as you can tell here, still above the January 2009 model area. We still have more supply than buyers, but you will notice a bit of a peaks and troughs developing here. We've found a bit of a new normal. This is a very indicative sign here of what happens in the stable market. Now, this is all subject to change as always, but what this means is that the older inventory helped increase up the number of planes, that the newer inventory is trading along in a much healthier manner. Pricing, we were doing very well until about a month ago here or so. It was very stable here along from about August until January before taking a rather noticeable dive down. What's driving this is a very interesting statement. one we probably can't answer fully, but our speculation, it is large fleet sales that are helping push this number down. The days on market is much higher than this segment than any of the others, mostly because the older Citations and the older Learjets. As a unit numbers, there is a staggering amount of those that are older aircraft versus newer ones, driving this average up. So what does this mean in conclusion? Well, it means if you're a buyer, particularly in large cabin aircraft, buy now. We are here at the bottom of the large cabin planes. If you're a seller, be realistic about where you are. If you are in the medium or small cabins, leave the charge down. And if, in general, keep an eye out for what's happening in the marketplaces. It's going to be a very dynamic little month, so let's make sure we all keep an eye on it. My name is Oliver Stone. Give me a call if you have any questions. Thank you.